Hey everyone, Yoyston here, and I hope you all are doing well wherever you are in the Shire. Today I have a Tales of the Shire video game review for you all, something I believe is honestly a true Hobbit simulator. I was given a review key, so shout out to Weta Workshop and Private Division for sending me that. I really appreciate it, so I was able to get in there and play the game for a few days before launch. This game is going to be coming out on July 29th of 2025. Now, let's honestly just jump right into it. This is something called a comfy or a cozy game, and honestly, in all transparency, it's not my type of game that I go to, right? I like my real-time strategies or my RPGs, MMOs, even TTRPGs, things like that. So this isn't my exact cup of tea, so this is my first jump into something like this. And honestly, I enjoyed it. I've got a couple hours now of playtime, and for what it's meant to be, I think it exactly is that. Now, I will mention a few things. The game was pushed out a few times. I think it was mostly like graphics things. Some tests came back not as positive as probably they were hoping, but now it does feel good. I do think there are some graphics errors, some things that could be cleaned up in future updates. Textures not loading properly, things kind of like that. As you're seeing on the screen here, this is what the game looks like. Now, normally I would do a lore review type of things, looking at specifically the settings, story, and characters, but again, with a cozy game, this is a bit tough because the story is more or less a Hobbit's story. Not the Hobbit, but a Hobbit. You are in Bywater. I don't really think there's much of Hobbits in there. It's pretty much you're just limited to Bywater in the Shire. So you've got the Green Dragon Inn, you've got Sandyman's Shop, the Ivy Bush Inn, the Green Dragon Inn. I already said that. Three Farthing Stone, references to Mickle Delving. You've got all of that and some other locations. One of my favorite locations is called Lookout Hill. It's this old Arnorian tower that some hobbits live in with an old white tree carved on the side, which is pretty sweet. But the story, again, getting back to that, this is a true Hobbit simulator. I've never felt more like a Hobbit in any other game than I do in this game, because the story is more or less like, oh, you've got like a dinner party coming up, you've got to do this, or you need to fish for this, or garden for this, and right, so it's pretty much gardening and house decoration and stuff like that, foraging. And yeah, I mean, your biggest worries in this game, as it is a cozy game, is having conversations about what defines a village, or ensuring people have things to eat in your home when you have them over for a dinner party. You are in the Shire, that's for sure. There are plenty of game simulators on Steam. This fits in as like a true Hobbit simulator. And where the lore is mentioned, I will say, right, because we are a lore channel here, I really enjoyed those aspects. There's a quote from a Hobbit. Hobbits have lived here ever since the old king gave us the Shire to live in. Love that, because that's exactly right. The Great East Road runs through Bywater, and it has lore from the First Age as the road that's talked about by Bilbo Baggins. You'll see BB in different descriptions. There's Oliphants, or rather mentions of Oliphants, a tiny toy Oliphant, so yeah, characters, right? Gandalf is in this. I don't think we can visit Bilbo, Frodo, or others in Hobbiton yet. There's Rosie Cotton and some of her family. And there are many hobbits that theoretically could be hobbits from Tolkien's works. It really feels like you're dealing with a bunch of hobbits. Some of them are a little bit rude, to be entirely honest, but it is what it is, right? And I believe this is sometime before the War of the Ring, if I had to guess, simply because, like, we're not in the Scouring of the Shire. Future update, who knows? No, that would totally not be in the cozy nature of this game to have something like that. But yeah, I mean, you're trying to build your Hobbit hole that you moved into, or rebuild it, kind of, like it sounds like an older Hobbit lady lived there, must have passed away, and so you're kind of remaking this Hobbit hole in its glory. And yeah, I mean, it runs well. for other things. Again, I tried to hit on some settings, story, characters, but for what this game is, it's not really like a progression or RPG in that sort of way, but I am impressed from a lore perspective of what it is. Other things, though, it does run well. Highest settings seem easy on my newer computer, but I would say I did mine through Steam as well. I don't think I mentioned that, but I did a Steam key. I imagine Xbox will run this fine, right? PlayStation, all of the platforms that this is on. Yeah, I will say the character creator, when you jump in, you're playing a Hobbit that you make. The character creator is a little weird. Some of the Hobbit models and how they kind of stand, they look very oddly shaped sometimes. You kind of get used to it, but you can kind of play around with it a little bit, make them really look like a Hobbit. To get into a bit of some nitpicks or some criticisms that I have here, maybe some that could actually be fixed in future updates. I do wish you could interact a bit more with things around Bywater. There are a lot of like chairs and benches and things that you can't sit in. You can already interact with a lot, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't add that. You can talk or like say hi to cows and again fish and forage and do all these things. But you can't like sit in chairs. You can't talk to every Hobbit. You can't go into every Hobbit hole. Almost any other Hobbit holes besides your own. And so it's kind of, at least, again, I have a few hours into this. I'd say, yeah, like, based on what I've seen here in the beginning of the game, I haven't been able to do much of that, so I don't know if that changes, but the world does feel blocked off. If you try to run over to the to Hobbiton, because, of course, I tried to find, like, the party tree and bag end, I don't think those are in the game, because I tried to run around and use my directional awareness within the Shire to find these different places, but I couldn't leave Bywater, so you're really restricted there. And even within Bywater, it's not like you can swim around in rivers super easily, and there are very defined paths that you should take, and places that'll feel kind of blocked off. So I wish you could interact a bit more, especially since you're only limited to Bywater. I feel like you should be able to swim anywhere, walk anywhere, do whatever, but yeah, I would still say a couple updates to fix some of the graphics glitches and so forth. I will say the Shire music as well is good. It took a while for it to kick on, though. It kicked on a little bit more. I do wish there was a bit more Shire-esque music. And a few more connections to places that we know about. Like, we're in the Shire. I feel like there's no reason, unless this is a future update, to not be able to, or it's later in the game than I've gotten, but to meet Bilbo Baggins and Frodo and go to the party tree and so forth. But I personally haven't seen that from the trailers and from what I've played. But all that being said, what is the game meant to do? It's meant to make you feel like you're a hobbit and in a stressless sort of environment. Some escapism into the Shire. And does it accomplish that? I would absolutely say so. You're finding a cat, like some hobbit that you have to help, right? He's having a rough day because his cow went missing, and so you got to track down his cow and use vegetables to get his cow back. Like, that is very much a hobbit level quest. So I would say it's that sort of thing. And if you want to feel like a hobbit and go through these tiny quests and just chill, just kind of have a good time, then this is exactly the experience for you. But if you're looking for more of an open world exploration or something like that, this isn't quite that Lord of the Rings game, or something epic on the style of Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, obviously. Even I'd say Return to Moria, like, it's not quite like those. It's not really a survival game. It's or a battle game or anything like that. It's a chill game. You're cooking foods, you're fishing, you're foraging, you're gardening, you're decorating, and meeting your neighbors. You're worried about your reputation and how they all see you. But again, like, that sounds like a hobbit to me. Think about Bilbo talking about the Sackville Bagginses and all the drama. Like, that is very much how this game works. So if you're looking for that, this is absolutely your game. And so since that is what it set out to do, I think it does it well, but I think it could use a couple improvements here or there. I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. So Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this game. Are you going to get it? If it's been a few days, have you already played it? Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below. If you'd like to support us here at Men of the West, we have a partnership with Mythologie Candles through the link in the description. Use the code Men of the West for 10% off that first order, or check out CastleCon's Lord of the Ring replicas and use the code WEST at checkout. Please check out our merch. Join our memberships and Patreon for access to our Discord server and our monthly podcast. We just had an episode, Royan and I, talking about common Tolkien misconceptions, moments that we think the Peter Jackson movies did better than the Tolkien books, and so forth. It was a really, really good conversation. So check that out if you're interested. Take a look at Masters of Mythology, our second channel on myths and legends. And thanks to our Valar tier patrons and YouTube members for keeping the channel going. Joby Weasel, at Patterson, ComicNet64, Zoomi, and Peter Sheppard. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to join the Men of the West, and my friends, thank you all for joining me on this adventure. Until the next one.